In this video, I'm gonna solve misogyny, sexism, misandry, and I'm gonna save the world while I'm at it. Mr. Beast, step aside. Leave this one to the commentary YouTuber. Nah, but I'm sure by now you've heard the phrase gender wars, referring to the current dynamic between men and women in America. How it does seem like tensions are rising and men are at women's throats, women are at men's throats. You have red pill stoked talking points about how women are evil, they just want you for your money, and these succubus are trying to ruin your life. And on the flip side, you've had phrases like kill all men pop off in 2020, and more recently you've had this debate go viral of if you're alone in the woods as a woman, would you rather be stuck with a man or a bear?
With a bear. Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? Unless you, like, fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
It's a lobotomite!
Leading to some incredibly intelligent talking points like...
Imagine you're at a party. I know, just suspend your disbelief. Imagine you're at a party and somebody walks in with a bowl of M&Ms. Super lazy for a potluck, but whatever. Now imagine you knew that some of these M&Ms were poisoned. Would you take that risk? I mean, come on, they're not all poisoned. What are you, some kind of freak who prefers Skittles? That's the position that women are put in whenever they interact with a man. They have
Like, dude, is this fucking serious? Like, you're telling me that because, what, 1% of the male population are rapists, you wouldn't take the risk to interact with a man because the trade-off isn't worth it? Yes, a fraction of the male population does unspeakable evil. Okay, 99% of us are fine. And I do think it's a little fucking embarrassing for you to get on your YouTube channel and say, yeah, you know, I'm not gonna take the risk to interact with those men because there is that 1% chance that it could go wrong. Like, okay, that mentality is so, like, sick and regressive, it actually kind of bars you from enjoying life at all. There's a 1% chance that if I take a shower, I slip and fall and my skull cracks open, and I lay there deceased for days, no one checks on me, until the odor coming from my bathroom becomes so rancid that people start to notice, and then they check in on me and they're like, oh damn, that sucks. This whole what if thing, you know, looking for a reason to not do something because what if it goes wrong, will not get you anywhere in life. It's the same thing where if you're afraid to go up to a girl and ask for her phone number because you're afraid she might say no, well, guess what, bro? You've already given yourself a no by not even going up to her. But what if she says I'm fucking ugly? Okay, well, yeah, but you can't live your life afraid of what might happen. But anyway, the reason I'm making this video is because I seen this tweet. Both men and women are just as bad as each other. Gender wars are very stupid. I completely agree. I think the gender wars are stupid. I think it's regressive in a lot of ways because a lot of the times what you'll hear people who call themselves feminists say, I believe men and women are equal. I believe in equality of the sexes. Okay, if men and women are equal as you say, then you have to acknowledge that men and women are just as bad as each other. You have to acknowledge that as groups, we should be treated equally with respect and dignity. And making these generalizations and these statements like kill all men, or on the flip side, women just want you for your money, and women are whores or whatever, it's so counterproductive and will get you nowhere. But seeing this tweet get so many likes gave me some hope. 152,000 likes is pretty good. But then you go to the replies and then the quote tweets that we'll get into, and it's just like, damn, are we really not getting anywhere? First reply is good. Everybody is annoying and toxic collectively these days, pretending that it's just one-sided is so biased. I agree. Crime stats don't support this at all, buddy, but thanks for your opinion, I guess. Men do kill more violent crimes. So it's people referencing crime a lot, right? Like, oh, men commit more violent crimes. And you can't argue with that. That's true. You can't sit here and try to mathematically say that women commit more crimes. That's just not true, and it's never been true. And by extension, the most evil people throughout history who have killed the most and caused the most harm to people have all been men. Every dictator, every terrorist, every person who's done something incredibly bad and violent and genocidal, they're all men, okay? But on the flip side, I think all that does kind of get canceled out to some extent by the fact that almost everything I use at least every day was invented and was the brainchild of a dude. This microphone, made by a guy, I use it every day. Shout out to the inventor. Twitter, the thing that we're even using to host this discussion, was made by a guy. And the internet, the thing that Twitter uses to be used, it was also made by a guy. So it's like the exceptionalism about men is that there's a lot of exceptionally horrible men and there's a lot of exceptionally amazing men. And I think the healthy way to look at that is not to be like, damn, that shit that they did was so bad that is unforgivable. I think you do have to, at least if you want to be, I think having a good mindset on the opposite gender if you're a woman, is to be like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great men, there's a lot of bad men, and it's unfair to say that all men are a certain way. But a lot of people on Twitter disagree and they just want to look at things like this. But in India, men are protesting because it's becoming illegal to rape your wife. And then this gets 200,000 likes, more likes than the original post. The thing is, it's not even an own or anything because everybody agrees that this is horrible. Every guy looking at this is thinking, wow, that's disgusting. You don't think all the men that are seeing this tweet, if they held the reins of power, would make this not the case? But yeah, obviously, India is less safe for women than America is for women. I would say that that's something that you can probably prove that pretty easily. I guess it just seems weird to bring that up in a conversation referring to like basic respect and dignity, right? Like obviously when the person said men and women are equally as bad as each other, it's a good faith attempt to build a bridge between the genders, right? And I feel like that's the only way you have to look at things in order to healthily engage in society, you know what I mean? I hate to say this phrase and this word, but like, bro, we do have to coexist. Is the ultimate goal to have like a female ethno-state or something? Just to get rid of men entirely and like make your own rules? Like, I guess like the circumstances aren't changing anytime soon. And when I say that, I mean like men aren't dying or going anywhere. Women aren't dying or going anywhere. We as a species need to like learn to love each other a little bit more, I feel like. And going back to this whole man-bear debate, it just feels like this whole debate has been kind of like a way for a lot of people to pearl clutch about like the possibility of there being a really scary guy. It's like this is not a real thing. There is no man, there is no bear, there is no woods. And all these people are like, well, the man could do this and this and this, and they're like, they're conjuring up these tales of fiction in their brain of like, well, then it could be this bad guy that I'm with in the woods. And it's like, I guess it is human nature and survival instinct to obviously vet the type of people you're around if they're a danger to your health and safety. But in the process, like, I feel like you lose sight of how being so cynical of men can just make you jaded and bitter. In this same exact way that, like, if you're a person who is constantly being fed, like, feminist-owned compilations nonstop, or, like, Myron Gaines destroys Miami 304, like, constantly, you're gonna have, like, this bitter view of women, and it's just like toxic. I think this shit's all just like so tired. Like, can we get over this, please? Also, one weird thing about this video I have to note is that this girl is literally wearing a bear costume, and in the video, she reacts to a guy, this guy right here. She reacts to a video of this guy right here. This guy's telling a story about how his mother was mauled by a bear and has irreversible injuries and scars and damages, and she's just wearing this like bear costume. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm being fucking sensitive. Just seems a little distasteful. Like, yeah, you owned that fucking guy for his mom getting mauled by a bear. Anyway, though, the gender wars are stupid. Just be nice to people. Men and women, we have a lot to learn from each other, and that's about it. All right, bye.
Yeah. She back to the ball. Wait, these niggas watching, I swear to God.